Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel, Icon here, and today we're going to talk about lines of sight on the map Gun Runner. So before we get into this, I'm just going to let you know that I don't talk about every single line of sight that you'll come across on this map. To me, I don't want to make a 30-minute video. You probably don't want to watch a 30-minute video. So it just gets a little bit boring and monotonous when I see videos like that. So what I've done is I've narrowed it down to 4 or 5 that you're probably not familiar with. And if you are, then you might know 1 or 2 of them, but most of these are going to be ones that you haven't seen, ones that you're not familiar with. And the way I like to do this is I like to do it in search and destroy. So B-bombs over there, A-bombs over here, and I'll just kind of break it down by side. Most of the time, in the vast majority of cases, lines of sight that are usable in search and destroy are also usable in respawn game types. So without further ado, let's talk about the A site first. So as we hop into this private match, if you like to plan A, one of the best way to play defenses after you've planted the bomb is they'll run back here, they'll go up this staircase, and they'll watch over the bomb this way. And to begin with, you might think, okay, that's a great way to counter a plant there, but there's a very nice line of sight that counters that. So if you come back here, people will say, well, you can head glitch these things, and you can head glitch this AC unit and all this stuff. And while that's great, if you just back up a little bit, so if you come over here and you stand up on top of this wall, so come down here, jump up on top of this wall. If you have a sniper rifle, you can zoom in, and boom, right there is the top of that staircase. So anybody that's camping over here, why would you ever look between these 2 air conditioners at this line of sight? You just wouldn't. So while I know this is very situational, it's a great line of sight to counter anybody that might be camping up here after an A plant. While I'm on this side of the map, the other thing I want to talk about is that you can guard A, or what you can do if you're on offense, you can plan at A, and then if you run to this side and you come down here, you can hop up on these boxes in the corner, and that's just a fantastic line of sight. It doesn't get much better than something like this. If you are going, so if you plant over here kind of on this side of the bomb, all you have to do is come back here, just kind of peek in and out, look at the bomb. There's no way anybody on the other team would come over here and look at this. This is just a great line of sight. So there's 2 on this side of the map. While we're over here, I want to hop up on top of these boxes and get up on top of the rafters. Now, this is fairly well known, but this is a great line of sight, and there's 2 of them. There's one up front, and there's one in the back, but this is a great line of sight to counter anything on this left side of the map. A lot of times there's people hiding in these crates or over by this propane tank or whatever you want to call this, whatever the call out you have for this is, or they'll like to come up here and then jump into this cargo crate. This is just a really good line of sight. So however you want to use it, it's kind of campy a little bit. If you're playing search, maybe you can look over top of things, but this is just one that I really like a lot. As we move up the map over here towards B-Dom, a lot of people like to, of course, plant on this side and move from there. One thing that I will show you that nobody ever checks, and it's the simplest thing in the world. Most people will plant, and then they'll jump up here, and they'll get on top of these crates. And then you have all these different spots you can go to once you're over here. One thing that's super easy and nobody sees is if you come this way and you look to your left, you can actually get inside here. Now, you can't jump up on top of this barrel, but you're basically hidden from all these lines of sight, right? If you're coming up on that B-bomb, you're going to be looking back here in this cargo crate, stuff like that. You're never going to be checking over here. So if you have a headset and you have that volume pumped up, you can just kind of sit here, wait for people to get close, and then jump out, shoot them as they're trying to defuse the bomb, and then finish the round that way. Even if maybe you're playing respawn and you're 1 or 2 off a chopper gunner or something, you can just kind of hide over here. I know it's not the best thing to do, but you can mount on these also and get kills like this. So this is a really nice spot. In terms of a line of sight, you can't really see much with it, but I just wanted to mention it because it's a really good spot. Now, a few things. This is a very good power position on the map. There's a few ways you can get up there. You can jump from up top of the bomb. You can jump from this box here, right? So if you're the other way, you jump up here, tactical sprint, double sprint, you can jump up this way. And then you can also jump on top of this barrel here and up on top of this roof and then jump over. So all 3 of those are valid ways to get up here. While I'm up here, this is one of my main search and destroy spots. So essentially the way I like to play it is I like to back off this box a little bit. And then I'll just check, you know, this propane tank, check the back of it, maybe switch to my sniper, and then look towards the back over here, see if anybody's there. And then just continue to look around these corners. You can look. This alley is really popular for search and destroy. People like to rush up here. And then you can come over here and look towards this middle sight line and in green here also. So a lot of sight lines here. Just use them cautiously. Make sure, if I want to check the alley over there, make sure you're just not coming around and doing this, because if you do this, now you're exposed to all these different lines of sights, and it's probably not going to end well for you. Just make sure you're cautiously going one at a time just to get over there, just to make sure you're not being shot from anywhere else. You can also get on top of this roof, which is pretty helpful. You can see towards these back train tracks over here. You can also see back to the cut that's coming this way over towards B-Bomb. Again, this isn't a spot I use that often, but it's a spot, so take it or leave it. So 2 more here from the other side of the map. One that I really want to tell you about. This is one of the best ones in the game. So if we're over here and we're talking about B-Bomb, then of course you want to run up that way and so on and so forth. But if you just turn around and jump on these boxes, you can get up on top of this awning. And once you're up there, if you have a sniper rifle, you can see essentially the entire other side of the map. So you can see over here to these top air conditioners over here. You can see back train tracks. Another great spot for up here is if you run over, you can look into bottom showers over here. So if this door was open, we could see right through it. And if you're playing Search and Destroy, this is a building where people like to camp. So this is just a fantastic line of sight here. And if you come all the way over this way, you can see over towards the right side. Is it great towards the right side? Not really, but it's really good on the left side, and one that I wanted to make sure that I mentioned. If you're playing Respawn and you're running towards the middle of the map, this is a really good head glitch also. So this is great for looking towards the center of the map here. You can also see anybody that might be running up towards water if they're coming up this way. It doesn't help too much other than that, but I just wanted to mention it because rather than, if there's somebody on that head glitch right there, rather than come over here and being fully exposed and giving them time to react, it's a lot easier to jump on these boxes and crouch down and get a little bit of cover as you approach this gunfight. As you get to the left side of the map, the one that I really want to show you is, so everybody knows stuff like this. You can jump up here and, you can head glitch these mine carts. But one that's really good is, this is really good jumping up on top of here. But if you look over to the right, getting on top of this coal stack is really helpful. So come over here. If you just walk up this stack of coal here, you'll notice that all of a sudden we have a great line of sight into bottom green. We have a great line of sight to anybody that might be flanking and Search and Destroy over towards woods. This is just a really helpful one. And you'll also see in the middle of my cursor there's an ability to mount. Now, if you're not directly, so if you're kind of just here and you try to move, then a lot of times it knocks you off of it. But if you're between these 2 bars here, then now you can mount and you can aim a little more. So just kind of be cautious or be wary of where you're trying to mount. If you don't want to mount, that's perfectly fine as well. But it just gives you a couple more inches of line of sight there. It props you up on top of that wall. So this is a really good line of sight. Last one that I kind of want to talk about before I end up closing up this video is that if there's a headquarters here, there's a hard point over here as well. A couple great ways to watch these spots that are over here is, say our team has it. This is, of course, a good way to watch that headquarters. So the headquarters that's over here, the hard point that's over there. So this is a good place to watch it, but of course everybody knows about that. So one thing that I like to do is, one way to approach it is to hide in this corner, let a couple people run by you, shoot them in the back, and then once that happens, you can kind of change spots. You can come over here to these barrels in the corner, let them run by, check for you over there, shoot them in the back again. So you want to kind of just be out of their immediate line of sight. Nobody's going to check for these corners unless you're playing like a game battles match or something. So these are really good, really easy free kills. Last thing that I'll talk about is that if you're holding this hard point from the other way, so now they're holding all these head glitches here, maybe they're mounted on top of the minecart this way or over to the side or whatever. This is something that's really popular that people like to do. So if your enemy's holding this head glitch here, it's really hard. It's really dark to see this corner right there. You'd look here, you'd look down there, but this is just a little bit harder to see. So what you can do is, one thing that I like to do if I'm approaching that headquarters, that hard point and they're head glitching, is I'll jump on these barrels and I'll peek out, see if I can catch anybody on these head glitches. And if not, I'll just jump right to this one. And then when I peek out, I'm going to peek through this little triangle here so that when I peek out, I don't know if they'll be looking for me or not, but you know where that head glitch is. So you can just pop out, get a few shots, and then finish that kill. This works way better than coming down here and trying to get that head glitch, or coming over here and trying to defeat that head glitch. These just don't work as well because that's where people expect you to come from. So try coming up here, checking those two, jumping over this way on top of this box, looking through there. This will work out a lot better for you. All right, and with that, guys, thank you so much for checking out another video. If you're new around here, don't forget to subscribe before you head out. Hopefully I was able to provide you with 3 or 4 lines of sight that you haven't seen before. And with that, make sure you leave a like, and I will catch you in the next one. See ya.